I wasn't supposed to go out that night. Friday evenings had become predictable. A cup of chamomile tea, a crossword puzzle half finished on the couch, and the quiet hum of the television playing some crime drama I'd probably forget by morning. At 57, routine had become my safe haven. But when my best friend Linda called with her usual whirlwind of enthusiasm, I found myself caving to her insistence. "Simone, Claire," she said, her voice crackling through the phone, "there's this little jazz club downtown. They've got a live band tonight, real music, not that auto-tuned garbage. You'll love it." I tried to protest. "Linda, it's been ages since I went to a club. And jazz? I don't know the first thing about it." "That's the point," she shot back. "It's time to shake things up. Besides, you can't spend another Friday glued to your couch." Her laughter was infectious, and before I knew it, I'd agreed. I rummaged through my closet, eventually pulling out a deep green dress that I hadn't worn in years. As I stood in front of the mirror, I noticed the soft lines around my eyes, the streaks of silver in my hair. Life had etched itself onto my face, but for once, I didn't mind. The jazz club was tucked away on a quiet street, its modest exterior giving little indication of the magic inside. As we stepped through the door, I was greeted by the warm, velvety sound of a saxophone, its melody weaving through the chatter of the patrons. The air smelled of aged whiskey and worn leather, and the lighting was dim, save for the golden glow of a single spotlight on the stage. I took it all in, feeling a strange mixture of excitement and apprehension. Linda, ever the social butterfly, dragged me toward a small round table near the bar. As we settled in, my eyes wandered. The room was a patchwork of personalities, young couples swaying to the rhythm, older gentlemen nursing glasses of bourbon, and a few solitary figures lost in thought. But then, I saw him. He was seated alone at a table by the stage, his face partially obscured by the brim of a worn fedora. There was something about him, a quiet confidence, an air of mystery. I caught myself staring, and just as I was about to look away, he glanced up. Our eyes met, and for a moment, the rest of the room seemed to fade away. Linda had disappeared, off chatting with the bartender or someone she'd struck up a conversation with. I didn't mind. It gave me a chance to sink into the music. The band played with a kind of raw passion I hadn't expected, each note vibrating in my chest. But I was distracted. Every so often, I'd glance toward the man in the fedora. He hadn't moved much, save for the occasional lift of his glass. There was a quiet intensity about him, a stillness that contrasted sharply with the energy of the room. I was lost in thought when a voice broke through. "Care to dance?" I looked up, startled, to find him standing beside my table. Up close, I noticed the flecks of gray in his beard, the lines around his eyes that hinted at a life well lived. I'm not much of a dancer," I stammered. He smiled, a slow, warm smile that put me at ease. "Neither am I, but this song deserves a chance, don't you think?" The band had shifted into a slow, sultry number, the kind that seemed to pull people together without them realizing it. Against my better judgment, or perhaps because of it, I placed my hand in his. The dance floor was small, intimate. As we swayed to the music, I felt a surprising sense of comfort, as if we'd done this 100 times before. "I'm Jack," he said, his voice low and steady. "Claire." "Well, Claire, you've got a natural rhythm." I laughed. "Flattery will get you nowhere, Jack." He chuckled, and for the first time in years, I felt the kind of lightness I thought I'd forgotten. We talked as we danced, snippets of our lives unfolding between us. He was a retired architect, recently widowed. I told him about my career in education, my children now grown and scattered across the country. There was a moment when he looked at me, his expression softening. "You've got a spark, you know, the kind that's hard to find these days." His words caught me off guard, leaving me momentarily speechless. The night stretched on, the music weaving its spell over the room. Jack and I talked until the band played their final song. By then, the crowd had thinned, and the once bustling club had taken on a quieter, more intimate feel. As we stood outside, the cool night air brushing against my skin, I found myself reluctant to say goodbye. "Thank you for the dance," I said, my voice softer than I intended. "The pleasure was mine," he replied. We exchanged numbers, a tentative step toward something neither of us had anticipated. As I walked away, I felt a strange mix of emotions: hope, fear, excitement. Over the weeks that followed, Jack and I began to see each other regularly. Our connection grew, not in a whirlwind of passion, but in quiet, meaningful moments. One evening, as we sat on a park bench, watching the sunset, he turned to me. "You know, Claire, that night at the jazz club, it felt like the beginning of something I didn't think I'd find again." I nodded, understanding exactly what he meant. Life had a way of surprising us, of offering second chances when we least expected them. Reflecting on that night, I realized it wasn't just about meeting Jack. It was about stepping out of my comfort zone, about rediscovering the parts of myself I thought I'd lost. And for that, I would always be grateful.